Hey everyone. Okay, so welcome back here on our series on Introduction to China. Now, I want to ask you the word leftover. What does it mean to you? Okay, I know leftover means, we're talking about food. We're talking about the food that we cook and then we eat and we don't finish it. And then we eat it maybe the following day or, we call them leftovers, right? But anyway, in this case, leftover is a term that is used to describe women who remain unmarried, after they've reached the age of 20, 21, up to maybe 27, and they're still unmarried. Those women are called leftovers in China. They're saying, well, you have reached the age where you're supposed to have been in your first marriage, but you're not yet married. Therefore, you are described as a leftover. Some people have been saying, well, this is very derogatory, of women and everything. But they say, well, each country, each people, they've got their own culture, their own expectations, and their own traditions. So they say that as a woman, when you reach the age of 20, 21, 22, up to 27, this is when you're supposed to be in your first marriage. You're still fresh and you still have chances of having children. Okay, so this is why again you see that in China there's a lot of pressure on young people to get married, but then it's generational. It's generational. When you want to look at the generation of maybe in the 1970s, all those women, when they got married, it was for better, for worse. Even if the husband cheats, even if things are not working out well in the marriage and everything, they would stay in that marriage, and their marriages lasted for many, many years. Okay, because women knew that this was all about, them making sure that their family remains intact, and so that they don't put shame on their families. Now, as generations move and move and move, this is when you discover that, women started to go to school, getting independent, earning money, and all this. So women have all this freedom now. They can say, well, I don't want to get married. I just want to have my money and enjoy it. No need for me to get married. I can live by myself. So this is now the generation of the kids who are in the 1990s. They can now do whatever they want because they can do that as well. So in China, that thing also is happening just like that. Everything that I'm describing here is all about China. Okay, women are deciding not to get married just to say they want to be by themselves. But then it's still a problem, because they're expected to get married. Even their mothers, they push them because their mothers are traditional women who were born in the 80s, in the 70s, there, in the 60s. So they're saying, well, you need to get married. Okay, a woman has to be getting married. But then young generation say, well, why should I get married if I can just be myself and a living. And then so some other districts in China that were encouraging leftover women to get married, even to the unemployed men, saying, well, just get married to an unemployed man. The community, the society, there will be some incentives that will help you, to do things, difficult things for you. Like, with most of the things that people talk about is economic, like where will you get the food, the accommodation, the education for the child, and this and this and that. Okay. So they say, well, just get married, incentives will come, leftover women, they should get married. Okay. Very, very interesting. Anyway, okay. So that is another thing there. That is another thing there. Okay. So because that there are fewer women than men, that phenomenon is described as the missing girls or the missing women. Okay. All right. And then in 2021, male to female ratio in China was 104.61 to 100. Male to female ratio was 104 to 100. Okay. So on average, again, average age of marriage, these days is for women 25, for men is 29. This was by the year 2020. Okay. Now the legal age of is 22 for women, 20. I mean 22 for men, 20 for women. Okay. So the only thing that I wanted to talk about here, I don't want to give you more details because I'm making a video with the details information about marriages in China and all these other nitty-gritty. So the only term that I wanted to talk about right now is the term of leftovers. And the reason why I wanted to talk about leftovers is because the Chinese New Year is coming, and when women, everyone is visiting their hometown, they're going to be with their parents in the villages and everything, they're expected to be married. They don't expect their child to be coming to holiday each and every year without a family, without introducing their husband, or if, This thing now, what I'm talking about now, it doesn't only happen to women. It also happens to men. Okay, it also happens to men, but of course we talk more about women because in terms of getting old, getting aged, in terms of having children, women they carry children, all this kind of stuff. So usually, when we're talking about marriage and delay and everything, it always focuses on women. Okay, but this phenomenon it also happens, even to men themselves. All right. So this holiday that is coming in the Chinese New Year, a lot of stories that I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay, but anyway, now in China, a leftover woman is someone who remains unmarried after they have, their age is gone beyond 20, which is the legal age of getting married, right? My name is Ziki, and until I come back again, please take care.